Hi, Vic Joshi again, C2 Financial, home of free mortgage consultation. I'd like to take a moment now to tell you what differentiates me from an institutional lender or other type of loan officer. Not only do I have over 20 years of experience in the industry, working at a very high level, top 5 to 10% producer in the industry for the last 10 years at least, but also the umbrella that I work under, C2 Financial, allows me to pool resources with over 500 loan agents, and that allows us to have access to pretty much any lender that does business through the wholesale lending channel. That means that we're approved with over 100 lenders and can be approved with more if we need to find additional products to suit each individual's needs. The thing that differentiates me from an institutional bank's loan officer is an institutional lender like a Wells Fargo, B of A, Citi, or Chase. They only have access to that lender's product. And also, since I work through the broker channel, which means that I'm a licensed real estate agent and my license is hung with the California Bureau of Real Estate, means that I actually have a fiduciary responsibility to get each of my clients the best transaction and best deal that I can. Whereas a bank does not have any of that fiduciary responsibility. In fact, an institutional bank can choose to lend or not lend for any reason that they want because it's their money and they don't have a fiduciary responsibility. If something goes awry in a transaction with an institutional bank, the borrower generally doesn't have the easy ability to be able to go to an entity like the Bureau of Real Estate or to be able to take legal action against that banking entity, whereas the broker channel allows for the client, the borrower, to be able to file complaints with the Bureau of Real Estate and even in the worst case scenario to file legal action against the broker of record, C2 Financial. I have never had a negative comment to the Bureau of Real Estate since I've been licensed there since 1998, and I've never had any legal action taken against me or any broker that I've worked under in my entire career. I pride myself on doing excellent business and doing the best work that I can for each individual. Part of the process, of course, is shopping for the best rate. And I have the ability to do that very well because I have access to over 100 lenders by working through a large umbrella that C2 Financial provides for me. I prefer to work through large entities like this that give me the autonomy to run my own broker shop the way that I'd like to. I have my own processing staff on hand, and I'm very hands-on. And the interest rates that we're able to provide generally are better than what you'll see with an institutional lender, at least on your standard products that conform to government underwriting guidelines with Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, Federal Housing Administration, and the Veterans Administration. The jumbo financing, which are loans that are usually of a higher loan size that can't go to a government-backed entity, we are competitive with the institutional banks. I will admit that sometimes we are not the lowest rate when it comes to that, but the service level that we provide is far above and beyond what you would get by working with an institutional lender. Here in my office, I actually underwrite every loan myself and package it to the guidelines and specifications that the lender's investor is looking for when purchasing that loan. And so when my package goes into the bank to be underwritten, it's already pre-underwritten, and really the underwriter just has to see that we've mapped out the deal properly and may add a few minor conditions, and then we're able to move that loan towards closing fairly quickly and efficiently. An institutional bank has an assembly line process where the loan officer is primarily an order taker. They work the front end. Their job is to take in as many loan applications as they possibly can. And then those loan applications go into the back office where it goes into an underwriting process, which is again part of the assembly line. So the front end loan officer really doesn't understand the underwriting guidelines. In fact, sometimes if you ask an institutional bank's loan officer what a guideline is, they might go, I don't know, what is a guideline? We know what the guidelines are. Those are the things that will allow a loan to happen or not to happen. And so we are already dealing with those back-end issues at the very beginning of the process. When I take a loan application and I ask the questions and I get the documentation that I need for the packet, I've already figured out whether or not this is going to be a loan. And if I don't think it's going to be a loan, then I'll help the client figure out what they need to provide in order to make that loan possible. As opposed to an institutional bank where their machine just wants to take as many applications in the front door as possible, throw them in the back office and see which ones stick, and if a certain percentage close, then the bank is making their money. For me, every transaction that I deem is saleable as a loan needs to close. And so our closing percentage when I take a loan application in is extremely high. I would say that we close probably over 90% of the transactions, maybe even 95% of the transactions after I've vetted them and done the pre-underwrite myself, as opposed to an institutional bank where it's just a random percentage amount that gets done. The other thing that differentiates us is that if an institutional bank is not able to make a loan, they don't have any other product to go to. They'll just decline the loan and then you're stuck starting over the process from scratch. Here, because we have 100 lenders that we can work with, or over 100 lenders, if one of those lenders is not performing, then I can go ahead and take your information and I can flip it to another lender and we can keep the process moving. That's especially important when you're in a purchase transaction and you've got multiple offers and you've got multiple backups in place. We can't allow for the transaction to fail because a lender has decided they don't want the loan, if in fact the loan is a saleable loan and I've done the pre-underwrite myself. So those are some of the things that make my shop different than what you might see out there. Rate quotes that you see online, again, remember that those are mostly marketing tools to try to get people to put applications into an assembly line process. I will quote rates based on an actual loan that I pre-underwrite that is saleable and that can close. And my rates will still be very competitive with what the market is offering. Again, Vic Joshi, C2 Financial, home of free mortgage consultation.